The next topic is borrowing and investing. Suppose, let's take this situation where I borrow some money from my friend, and it's quite a hefty amount. So I have borrowed 1 million rupees from a friend, and I promised that I'll give it back and give the money, return the money after 1 year. As it turns out, I needed this money. I use it for my purposes. I get the expected money out of it. I'm going to return the money, but I asked my friend if it will be okay if I return the money after 2 years rather than after 1 year. He says pretty fine because he does not really need this money right now. He says that it will be fine. You take 1 more year and return it back later on. So after 2 years, I return this money back. I return the same amount, 1 million rupees back. The trouble that is there now, please kindly pay attention to this. The trouble is, in when I borrowed the money, my friend could buy 100 gram of gold using this amount. The cost or the price of gold at that time was around 100,000 rupees per 10 gram. So this is 1 lakh rupees in 10 gram. 1 million is 10 lakh rupees. So we have 10 into 10 is 100 gram of gold can be bought by this money. That was at that time. Already it's been about say 8-9 months, and it's already the gold is already selling at 1,40,000 rupees per 10 gram. In 2 years, it's just a guess now. At the end of 2 years, possibly this cost will go up to 2 lakh rupees in 10 grams for 10 grams. And if I give 1 million, that is 10 lakh rupees back after 2 years, my friend will be able to buy only 50 grams of gold. So although I would be telling everyone that I had taken the money, I had borrowed the money, but I returned it back, my friend would be thinking that his chance of buying gold has been significantly marked, because now he can only buy half of the gold, because by the time I return the money back, the prices of gold has increased exponentially. Not exponentially, but quite a bit. The same thing happens with petrol. If I borrow some money, by the time I return it back, petrol prices would have gone up by quite a bit. And because of petrol, everything else is also becoming more expensive, because even if you want to buy vegetables, the vegetables from the farm are brought to the market, and the vegetables are loaded into trucks, and the trucks bring them to market. If the petrol and diesel becomes expensive, the cost of running those trucks will increase. Eventually the cost of vegetables will have to increase. Everything else will become expensive as well. So if you take 1 lakh rupees from someone, or 10 lakh rupees, 1 million rupees for someone, and you take your own time and then you return 1 million rupees back, it doesn't mean the same. It's not the same way. I'll give you an example. When I started driving, driving bike, at that time, the cost of petrol was around 25 rupees per liter. This was in 1996, 97. 25 rupees per liter around. I remember it was slightly less, I think, if I remember correctly, but we'll go with 25 now. So in 100 rupees, you can buy 4 liters of petrol. Imagine I gave 100 rupees to my friend at that time. He needed it, I just lent it. Then we forget. I forgot, he forgot. We just lost it. Suddenly we met some other guy, some other friend after many years. And he says, yeah, last time we met, we were at the, there was that petrol pump and we three were together. I said, yeah, I remember. And he said, and then he's just making, a joke. He's just asking my friend, did you return his 100 rupees? My friend tries to remember which 100 rupees. Then he says, no, you don't remember. That was our last meeting. After that, I went to America and I did not meet. We are meeting now. But at that time, you needed money to, buy certain stationery and you borrowed 100 rupees from him. And my friend is like, yeah, I had borrowed 100 rupees. Sorry, I forgot. Then he takes 100 rupees from his pocket and gives it to me. Today, 100 rupees in many cities in India, I cannot buy 1 liter of petrol. Because in certain cities, the petrol is being sold at 104 rupees. In some cities, it is 97, 98 rupees. Even if you assume that the petrol is sold at 100 rupees, that means when I gave this money, it was worth 4 liters of petrol. When I got the money back, it was worth only 1 liter of petrol. So I got my money back, but the value has depreciated quite a lot because everything else is becoming expensive. So what do? Anciently, human beings faced this problem. And for a country like India, where economy was always prospering, always growing, people found out a way to compensate, and that is called interest. So if someone gives me 1 million rupees, after 2 years when I give the same amount back, this is called as principal amount. I have to return some extra money as well. And that is what is called as interest. This interest depends upon 3 things. The interest is directly proportional to the principal amount. So if you take 100 rupees, the interest will be different. If you take 200 rupees, interest will be doubled. If you take 300, interest will be 3 times. If you take 1000 rupees, interest will be 10 times the interest you would have to pay for 100 rupees. Interest is proportional to the principal amount. Interest is also proportional to time for which you take the money. It is obvious. I take the money, I return it back after 1 year. I don't have to pay great amount of interest. But I take the money and pay back after 20 years. I have to pay a lot of interest. Why? Because I kept the money for 20 years. And in 20 years, the value would have been, everything would be so expensive that the value of that amount of money after 20 years would be much lesser. So I want to compensate my friend or whoever was the lender. I want to compensate for his loss. What is his loss? He gave 100 rupees, but he took 100 rupees back. But his 100 rupees that is taken back does not have the same value because the market situations have changed. So what was the value of this 100 rupees while lending and the 100 rupees while taking it back? The 100 rupees while taking, because of time, because of other factors, because of the continuously growing economy, the value of money has reduced. And this difference must be compensated. So you pay the amount. But if the time is greatly large, you gave 100 rupees, and then you get back 100 rupees after many years, then this entire economy has grown so far. Uh, the everything would have become so much expensive, and the value of this 100 rupees would have been far lesser, and you have to compensate much greater, which effectively means that the interest that you have to pay would be far greater if the time is more. So in short, we say the interest is proportional to time. Interest is also proportional to R, where R is what is rate of interest. So in modern day, people decide that if you borrow money, then I will lend you the money, but I'll say every year 5%. So that every year 5% interest will be charged. 5% is 5 rupees or 100 rupees. If you take 1000 rupees, 50 rupees charged. If you take 200 rupees, 10 rupees charged. If you take 300 rupees, 15 rupees charged, and so on. So this is rate of interest. Rate of interest is expressed in percent. Percent is per 100. So we write per 100 here. So combining these three equations, I get I is equal to PRT upon 100. This is the interest. And then the amount that you have to return is equal to principal amount P plus interest I. And that's how you have to pay it back. This formula is called a simple interest formula. What is simple interest? The interest is charged on the principal amount. The interest is charged for the amount of time T. The interest is charged at the rate R%. The interest will be uniform. Every year you pay the same interest amount, and whatever be the number of years you take, just return that the money and the interest amount, total amount paid back after the given number of years. That is the entire logic of simple interest. We'll take some very simple problems based on this. Like in my example, I said a friend lent me 1 million rupees. So that is the principal amount. The amount of time is 3 years or 2 years, I had said, so 2 years. And the rate of interest was agreed to be 10%. Now what will happen is the interest I is equal to PRT by 100, which is equal to P is 10 lakh, rate of interest is 10 into 2 upon 100. So that is 2 lakh rupees you have to pay as interest. And the total amount that you have to return is 12 lakh rupees or 1.2 million rupees. This is what simple interest is like. There are a lot of problems based on simple interest. They are basically very simple problems. In our next video, we'll talk about compound interest, then growth and decay, and that will wind up the chapter. The first two exercises are extremely simple. I want you to try them. If there is any difficulty, please get back to me. Okay, I hope this works. I hope this helps. I hope my next video will, cover every part of the chapter, and that will put us in the right condition. Thank you.